Hi, I'm Adriana Lee from THA 10561, and I will be performing 3 poems from 3 different authors. The first one is called One More Love Poem by Dunya McCall. If I had one more day, I would write a love poem, composed of one word repeated like binary code. I'll multiply it by the number of days that passed without saying it to you, and I'll add the days when I said it with no words, because I want to say it more. And like a bee gathering pollen, I'll collect everything ever said in one word like a square root, multiplied by the power of 10. I'll count even that day when my anger at you, or for you, turned me into a stone, and also the days when I was away sending my songs like postcards to the lonely feeling you in every touch of love I gave to you. To the world, I'll count all the days, even the 9 months of days before I was born, to say to this exponential growing, I love you. The second poem is called In Saffron Bulu by Monica Farrell. The evening I left, I went for a wash in the neighborhood hammam, lifted my dress, entered the water, which moved in rings for me as though from a stranger took a stick, to strip a layer of my old back. In my bag lay a box of Turkish delight, meant for my parents, a book of notes, a passport, but I was holding nothing, now as I floated. In pools upon pools of ancient tiled rooms, there was a pigeon in an alcove making song. Women in the shadows clucking disapprovingly at me, unmarried and brazen, and free in the windows of kind and violent smoke. I understood as twilight taking over the sky. However, hard I tried to erase the blot. My body kept bobbing back up. I thought that's what time was, you couldn't lose it. Like a stone in water, that having been, myself so long it could be forever. And now, Saffron Bolo doesn't exist anymore. At least, not the one where my father still has years on the clock, where my mother's unreason hasn't begun. The baby's not sprung yet from there wherever. City rich off spice, flame-colored threads off the crocus, that flowers on the hills around like blue light, whose gates I will pass through only in the mind. When I slipped on my dress and reopened the door, night had closed over the world that I knew. The third one is called Ode to Tired Bumblebees Who Fall Asleep Inside Flowers with Pollen on Their Butts by Luisa e Gloria. Usually it's the males. Maybe they've gone out with buddies in their leks, keeping their radar tuned for female bees as they move from sweet pea to mallow flower and snapdragon, gathering pollen in their hairy saddlebags called corbiculi. Maybe they have no place to return or are lost, having gone too far from the nest. Maybe the empty football fields and elementary school playgrounds, long unmowed since our common isolation and teeming now with yellow dandelions, proved too much. Sweet asylum, floaks with stereo cascading heavy out of themselves. Honeysuckle and evening-scented stock, dianthus crowned with hint of cinnamon and smoky clove. Female bees will also burrow deep inside the shade of a squash flower. The closer the source of nectar, the warmer and more quilt-like in the air. In the cool hours of morning, look closely for the slight but the telltale trembling in each flower cup. There, a body dropped mid-flight, mid-thought. How we all retreat behind some folded screen at work, or the world presses in too soon, too close, too much. Thank you.